Hi everyone, it's Denise again, and I'm here to go through a quick card for you. First, one, I apologize for the glare. Two, I apologize that there's a big shadow over here. Unfortunately, the time of day that I'm recording this and the lighting in my basement and where the phone has to be, it's just sort of the way it is. So it shouldn't affect us much though. I apologize in advance. So we are going to do, as I move these inks over, we are going to do this card today. Let me try to get that out of the glare. And I'm gonna do it this way, just in case it's upside down. So we have our Easter egg with our 3 flowers. Now, I'm not really going to make this card with you because we don't have too many kits left, and I don't want to take a kit from somebody who might want one. So what we're going to do is fake it, right? So you're going to need 3, I use Distress Oxide Inks because I like that they're opaque for this. So I used, and I'm going to turn them again just in case, we used when we did the class, spun sugar, dried marigold, salvage patina. Really doesn't matter what 3 you use, and you don't have to use 3. I just kind of like the way they look. They were kind of springy and pastel-y together, and they were fine. I would recommend not really putting these 2 next to each other. I mean, you get sort of a, I think it was these 2. I got sort of a more muddy kind of deal. Might have been those 2. Well, you'll figure it out, right? So if you're not used to playing with them, and there's such a small space of it that you're not really going to see it if it gets muddied. I'm gonna try to put it so you can see that. You just see the nice little blend that goes with it. All right, so there are a few differences between your kit and this card. You have the 3 flowers and leaves. You have a piece of paper. You've got your gold topper for your egg. You have your embossed piece. You have your mat. You have your envelope we don't need. You have your card base, right? So I'm gonna do this, so hopefully it's the right direction. The card base, it for me is facing that. Well, it's facing left. I'm going that way, but if it's upside down, that won't help, right? So it's facing to the left. You could, I guess, make this a top fold card if you wanted to. It's designed to be the other way, but if it fits and you like it to be a top fold, go right ahead. There are no mistakes in this. It's your card. It's your creation. You do not have to follow what I'm doing exactly. Kind of defeats the point of being creative. Now, the other thing that I don't have here right now is the Barely Arts Dries Clear Glue, which I would highly recommend you use, especially since, did I lose it already? I'm famous for losing pieces, especially since you're going to have to glue this. And I mean, you see there, I'm gonna put my hand behind it. You see there, it's got all the little pieces, right? This is a very intricate, very fine cut die. So you are going to need something that dries clear and that has a very fine tip to it. Now, the Art Glitter Glue Dries Clear will work just as well with this, with the fine tip. We use the Barely Arts glue in the store simply because it can be shipped year-round safely, and that is not true for the Art glitter glue. Now, I've always been a fan of the Art glitter glue, but I did get some shipped to me in the winter by places that will ship, even though the Art glitter people say don't do it, and they won't. And sure enough, I had to dump out about half of the bottles, no matter what the size was, because it completely lost its adhesive properties. It literally was like white water. It was thinner than skim milk. So I would recommend, if you live in an area that's cold or drops below freezing at any time of the year, don't have the Art glitter glue shipped to you. Either buy it in advance or just simply use the Barely Arts glue, because it doesn't have that property to it, which makes it safe for those of us in colder weather year round. So that being said, and before I forget, because I always do, don't forget to hit subscribe at the bottom of your screen there and click the like button if this is helpful, and also the little bell, which will tell you anytime that a video has been uploaded. So we have our top fold card. You can take your glue. Again, I'm not going to do it here. Just, you're gonna glue that down, and you don't need a lot of glue with the liquid glue if you're not used to it. Just a little bit will do. You in the 4 corners around the sides. Remember, a card is not necessarily meant to last forever. A scrapbook page, yes, you definitely want something else. But I even use liquid glue instead of a tape runner on my cards because I just find it easier. I have it out anyway. So we've got these 3 pieces, well, the base, the 2 pieces, and they are layered. I am going to put them to the side. You're now going to color this piece. Now, if you are looking at the sample, you are saying, but I don't have the egg-shaped piece, I just have a rectangular or a square piece of paper. That is correct. It is easier for you to color a full sheet and cut it than it is to send you an already die-cut piece. And so for this particular one, that's what we decided to do. So you are going to color this paper, and then you're going to, with your Dries Clear glue, in strategic places around the edges if you can do it, and then strategic places, you're going to find where you like on your piece of paper once it's colored, wherever that may be, glue it down, give it a few minutes to dry. Neither the Arts Clear and the Barely Art, they don't take very long to dry. Make sure that you're pressing it down as you go. Clean fingers, right? Make sure you're pressing it down as you go. And once it's dry, then you're just going to fussy cut around the edge. Now, what I will tell you is that both will leave sort of like a film, like it's Dries Clear, but you'll see it on mirror or metallic cardstock. All you have to do is either take a lightly damp, not wet, a lightly damp paper towel and just kind of scrub, not scrub hard, just, rub, or a baby wipe. A baby wipe does it too, and just go over it. If you use your fingernail, it will work, but depending on the maker of the cardstock you're using or the foil that you're using, it might flake off, and you'll definitely notice it when it flakes off. So for now, I would say stick with a very lightly damp paper towel or a baby wipe, and then just go over it a second time if you have to. It is not going to hurt the cardstock. It can react with the inks, so always be careful of that, which is why I say you want to use just a little bit of glue here and there, just strategically. Remember, it just has to stick. The whole thing doesn't have to stay. If you could see mine up close, you would see that the whole middle is a little bit raised, like you can kind of see under it. It's a little bit raised because I don't have any glue there. I just have a few dots here and there just to get the job done. I'm not going to color on this paper. I'm going to color on a different piece. So just for those of you who, I don't have a scissor. All right, I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Just for those of you who have never done this with inks before, this is super simple. You can use a blending brush like I'm going to use. I love brushes. You can use, I'm losing my words for it. Like a blending tool. Right? A Tim Holtz, a scrapbook.com, or, whatever brand it is. You can also, you can use a dome tip, or you can use a flat one. It doesn't really matter. A finger dauber is going to be a little more challenging to use, only because it'll take a lot longer and you'll probably see more of that, which is why I like the brushes. So you're going to, I have cat hair and everything. Do you have cats? It's ridiculous what it gets into, even a sealed ink pad. Okay, so you can press as hard or as lightly as you want, and you'll see the camera rocking a little bit because of the way, I'm not even pressing hard, the table it's a little card table, so it moves. Always start off the page, circles, and come on in. And you start off the page so that you don't get this. See that kind of blotch? Now you might be able to blend that out with more ink, but if you wanted a lighter look, you wouldn't be able to. So you always start off the page. And if you ink anything, you usually know to start off the page because then you get that nice edge looking on the page, right? So go ahead and do that. And make sure that you keep your brushes, separate. You don't want to ruin your ink. So I'm just gonna close this up. I'm gonna go to the middle. I'm gonna go to the blue. I'm going to get some on there. Now the blue is going to be my most vibrant of these colors, as you can see. And I really like the blue. But as you see, it's darker on one side than the other, right? So I'm going to try to curtail that a little bit. Maybe get a little off on my brush first, blend in the middle from there. And I always want to go back up and blend over the other color. Now, in this particular case, and I'm going to use the other brush to do the same. No, it won't get on the brushes, and if you think it did, just go like that, and it'll come off. I'm not going to be too OCD about it, even though I tend to be, simply because this is going under something else it's just background. And I'm not going to see much of it. Oh, see, you see what happened there? You see that spot? That's what happens when you don't start off. I started half on, half off. So just be mindful of that. So start off and then move your way across. Now, if you like it really heavy, see, I just did it again. If you like it really heavy, that's fine. So you can always fix it by just going directly to the paper then and making that just as deep. And then I would go back to my blue in this case, and I just sort of blend them together. Now, I am not the best at blending. I don't pretend to be, and I don't think I need to be for this. So if you are super good at blending, have at it, have a good time. And I'm just wiping off my brush here. Sorry for the Blair Witch effect. Like I said, I'm just doing this because it's a background. So now I'm going to find what I like, where I like this. Maybe I like it this way. Maybe I like the stripes down the middle. Wherever you like it that way, wherever you like it, you're gonna glue it down, pat it down, make sure it sticks, give it a couple minutes, then you're going to fussy cut around the edge of the circle. Yeah, that's all. Now the flowers get colored the same way. I'm not going to color them. I would be using a green for the leaves. But literally, for these, I don't actually go off the page. I just kind of, see, wrong color already. I just kind of go in the middle and then I circle it out. Now, the reason I don't want to color these is because whoever gets this kit might not use the same colors I do, and then their flowers are ruined. So I literally go right in the middle. See how I press down on that head? And you see the difference between the light and how dark it is? Where is a good spot here? So let me, 1, 2, 3, right? I have my finger there, but I'm not pressing at all. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm pressing. You can probably hear the difference. Oop, I'm trying to move that there. Hopefully it's not too blurry. Can you see the difference between how light it is and how dark it is? That's what happens when you press on these, like on the heads of one of these. So just keep that in mind when you're pressing. And it takes a little bit of practice if you're not used to it. Don't worry about it. But with flowers, I go in the middle and I just circle my way up because I want it to be darker in the middle. And then I just sort of loosen up and lighter on the edges. And for the leaves, I do the same thing. Now, when it comes to flower, ooh, yikes. I had it right in the top of the thing. When it comes to flower shaping, I'm going to recommend that you look back at any one of our other videos prior to this one, and that you just take a look at how we flower shaped. You'll need your flower shaping stylus because you already have the kit then if you haven't bought one yet and you need one. Christina has some at the store, so feel free to add that to your cart. You also need the flower shaping mat. I have tried other mats before, like everybody's, oh, do I really need the mat? And everybody thinks, no, I don't really need the mat. You actually do really need the mat. From trial and error over the years, I'm telling you, you need the mat. So you would simply color the leaves the same way. You would then get your mat, flip your leaves, get your water bottle. Here's mine. Any kind of sprayer will do. It can be a little mister or whatever. You hold it about a foot, about 12 inches over. Spray once, just once. You don't want it to be wet, just once. And then you're going to simply take your stylus. And in this case, because it's just so simple, I would just press. Maybe circle a little bit with the biggest of the ends that you have in your kit. And that's all there is to it. Now, again, I'm sorry, I'm not going to waste the kit and then show you and then have somebody not get one. But again, the coloring and the flower shaping, we do any card that you see on the channel that has flower shaping or has flowers on it has flower shaping. So you can just go to where that part of the video is. You can fast forward to it, watch it. It's the same exact thing. And that brings me to another point. I do tend to speak quickly. So if you've missed any part of this or it went a little too fast for you, don't worry. I always recommend watching first, then going back and starting again and pausing where you need to or stopping it or rewind if you have to. But this is a pretty simple card and it's just really nice to let someone know you're thinking of them at Easter. So if you make Easter cards, we did this in the spring of 2022. So if you need any cards for spring of 2023, or you like to send Easter cards, or you might like to send a special hello to somebody at the holidays, go ahead and grab some of these before they're all gone, because everything's in limited quantity. Once these kits are gone, we're not going back to make more. Alrighty, thanks so much. I hope this was helpful. Go get creative, and don't forget to post on Scrapbooking Stuff group on Facebook. Right? That's where we are on Facebook. So don't forget to go there, like the page, join the page, and post your creations. We can't wait to see them. Any questions for me or Christina or the store should be posted there as well. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.